Okay, here's another one. There was a Walking Dead T-shirt that had the bat with the barbed wire on it,
Yeah.
and on the shirt it said "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo,"
Okay.
which is just from the thing where he kills Glenn, right?
Yeah.
But if you finish the song, it's "Catch a tiger by the toe if he howls it and go blah blah blah." But in the '60s, it was "Catch a nigger by the toe," and it
Okay.
was a racist term.
Okay.
So in 2017,
Mm-hmm.
this shirt that had nothing to do with racism and it was
Mm-hmm.
more about killing zombies
Right.
got pulled
Right.
for racism.
Well, it was originally a racist thing, though.
Okay, but come on, it was like 75 years ago. When you were a kid,
That's
you sang
okay.
"Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo," didn't you?
Okay. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm sure I did. But here's the thing: I don't find it racist at all. But if I were the producers or part of the advertising or yeah, the advertising team for the people who make Walking Dead, I saw that there are multiple people who found a term that I use on a shirt racist. I'm going to pull the merchandise because as a company,
But see,
it would
that's
lose more money and look bad to keep it on there, even if they don't agree with it. Somebody said they were offended by it. It
okay.
was
So why,
enough. It
so
was
why didn't we
enough. It
pull the
was.
national anthem then?
We did.
No, we
We
didn't.
changed. We changed some of the words in the
No, we didn't.
national
We just
anthem.
stopped singing the third verse.
Okay, but that's enough. If people still had a problem with it, then we would probably pull the national
Okay,
anthem
but
altogether.
people do have a problem. Here's the thing.
Well, if
The
it's
shirt
enough of a problem,
says "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo." It doesn't even get to the "Catch a tiger by the toe"
honey,
part.
I listen. I don't. I need you to understand me, okay? I do not find it offensive. I don't care if it used to be a racist thing or not. It's just a nursery rhyme to me. But there were enough people that said they had a problem with it for the makers of The Walking Dead to say we are going to remove it because it'll do more damage than good to keep it, whether they agree with it or not. It's the same way if WWE had a T-shirt that said something that Bray Wyatt said, but it was considered too scary, so parents had a fit about
Okay,
it and they
so
pull it.
you want to bring wrestling to it? That's fine. Becky Lynch
Mm-hmm.
is Irish,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like the Irish lass. That's her thing. So they gave her a shirt, and it was on the it was like 100% lass kicker. It was a play on words,
Okay.
but because lass is like a terminology for women, it's like you condone beating on women, and the shirt went away.
Okay.
People gotta stop being so fucking sensitive about
People
everything.
can stop being. You're right. People are sensitive about a lot of things, but as a company, they're just doing what's best for business, and you can't be mad at the
I'm not mad
company
at the
for
company. I'm
stopping
just
it
mad
for
at
that.
people.
People are always going to be sensitive about something. I'm sure there are things that you're sensitive about that people be like, "That's stupid."
But that's the thing. As a business, it's like I can't make everybody happy.
You can't make everybody happy, but again, if there's enough of an uproar from a
Okay.
group of people that's big enough to have an impact or spread rumors or whatever, and you decide, any company that makes a decision, they're always going to make it in the best interest of the company. Which
So
way can we
so
make the
what's
way?
that percentage
Which
then?
way can we make the most money or keep the most customers happy? If have two complaints, they're probably not going to do anything. If you have hundreds of complaints, then they're going to do something.
Okay, hundreds of complaints out of how many though? What's the percentage?
Enough.
So
Enough.
let's say The Walking Dead averages 10 million viewers a week.
Okay.
That's not true. Like
Okay.
they suck
Okay.
lately.
10 million. Okay.
But of those 10 million people, how many people would have to say this show is racist before you would say okay and then pull the show?
Enough for me to be able to physically see a dent in the merchandise
Okay,
and the
but-
amount of
but-
money we
but-
would have
but-
made in merchandise.
And I agree, but how much is that? What's the percentage? Is it 10%?
I don't know. Some thousands.
Okay,
If I'm
so out
losing
of 10 million people, if
Okay.
1,000 people say they don't like it,
okay.
so you telling me that the
If it's a matter-
998,900 80 or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
out of 10 million, if 1,000, that's enough for you.
If I find that if I remove the shirt, I will make more money or I won't lose money, then yes, I will. See, and then you also have to think. You just say, okay, it's not true that it's 10 million or whatever. That's
Okay,
no. Wait,
here,
let
I'll
me.
make it easy.
Can I finish what I'm saying before you cut me off, please? If it's true that the show is not doing well right now, all the more reason they would be more willing to take off an item that people don't like. Why would you purposely leave something up to have even more bad feedback for a show that's not even doing well right now? You want people to look at it and be like, oh wow, we had a problem with that, and they let it go. And then they come out with another item or something that would keep people interested.
You buy a dress.
Okay.
And you think it's like, okay, you clearly bought the dress, you think enough of it that you spent your money on it.
Okay.
And you ask 100 people what they think of the dress. How many people would have to tell you the dress was ugly?
That's not a good example, and I would never care what people think of the dress because 100 people aren't. It's not a no. Let me finish. 100 people aren't paying me to wear this dress. Okay. If people paid me to wear the dress, and people said I'm not giving you money because stop. I'm not giving you money because I don't like the dress. And if 100 people said that, I would have to consider getting rid of the dress or changing my dress because now I'm losing out on 100 potential people that were going to give me money.
Okay, that's fair. You own a restaurant, and the Asia Special #2 is your best seller. Okay. Out of 100 people, how many people would have to say that the #2 special is nasty before you would stop selling it? Just give me a number out of 100 people.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. It depends on how often these people come back and buy things.
Okay, these are 100. You have 100 regular people in an average week. You see these same 100 people every day. Of those 100 people, how many would have to say, "Nope, this is nasty. I don't want it anymore"?
I don't know, maybe 20 or 30.
So what about the 70 that like it?
Okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they like it. You said there was one particular item on the menu that out of 100 people, 30 of them said, we don't like this. That doesn't mean that the other 70 do like it and that's the only thing that they order. They just didn't say anything about it at all. Okay, but if 30 people have a problem with it and I can replace it with something else and everyone is still happy, then I would do that.
Okay, here you go. So if 30 people said they didn't like it, but 30 people said they did like it, and then 40% of the people were indifferent, would you pull the item?
It depends. It depends because again, it's not, and that's I think that's still a bad example because let me finish. If those 30 people that said they don't like it had such a problem with it that they wanted me to remove the item, then I would consider it. But just because there have been plenty of times if you go to McDonald's and you say I don't like fish fillet sandwich. I think it's gross. I don't like it at all. So you never ever ever order it and you order something else. You still like McDonald's, you just don't like one particular item. But if you have 30 people that go in and say, if you don't get rid of this item, I'm no longer going to shop here, then that's a completely different conversation. No one ever does that. If there's an item at a particular place that they don't like, then they just won't get that item unless it is something that is not contradict that. If there is something that is such a big deal that they find it personally offensive, then I would have to consider getting rid of that item because now I am losing customers altogether. Those 30 people are going to leave and no longer give me business because they are personally offended by something. If I have 30 loyal customers, whether I agree with them being upset about a certain item I have or not, these are 30 customers that come here loyally, and I would have to, as a good business owner, want to accommodate everybody who comes in.
Okay. 100 people are coming in. 30% of those people don't like it. 70% of the people go, yeah, it's fucking good. I like the #2. Okay. Do you pull it?
Say it again.
100 people come in and they eat whatever the #2 is. Okay. Roasted poop.
Okay.
whatever. 30 people
Mm-hmm.
go, well, I just don't like roasted poop.
Mm-hmm.
And if you continue to sell roasted poop here,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to eat anymore.
Okay.
Do you pull it?
70 people like it.
70% of the people enjoy it.
Then no, I won't pull it. And the reason why I won't pull it is because again, we're talking about a food item. Someone prefers not to. Oh, it tickles. Someone prefers not to eat a particular thing because they don't like the taste. So they go to a different restaurant, and I still have 70 people who come here and they eat this food. But what you're talking about is something that someone finds offensive, and if someone find in today's day and age, someone finding something offensive and then taking it back to a racial issue, even if it's just 30%, that 30% are just the 30 people that were eating. I mean, that are fans of that particular thing. But if they take it and they walk away and they're upset because I didn't change the shirt or whatever, they're going to go and they're going to say, "Well, The Walking Dead, they don't care that this particular thing is racist," and that's going to spread. And then people who aren't even fans of The Walking Dead are going to have a problem with it. And altogether, in the end, it's going to make them look bad with the way they do business. Even as a company, even if you don't agree with it, even if it's stupid, I think it is stupid. It's absolutely stupid. But when you're a business owner, I feel like you have to take away your personal feelings about things and think about, in the end, what is best for business. It's not about how you feel about it. It's about what would help me to keep my business going and to keep things good.
Okay.
You're taking it personally, and there's no reason to.
Here's a better example. You're Vince McMahon. Better, you're Stephanie McMahon.
Okay.
You're running the company.
Okay.
Recently, Jinder Mahal, an Indian wrestler, won the world title.
Mm-hmm.
It's their attempt to garner more of an interest in the Indian audience.
Okay.
If, let's say, okay, Raw averages a 3 in the ratings every week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3 million people.
Mm-hmm.
How many people would have to say that allowing Jinder Mahal, an Indian man, beating Randy Orton for the belt was racist against white people for you to take the belt away from Jinder Mahal?
It doesn't matter how many people start the rumor or say it who
Okay.
feel that way. It matters in the end how far that spreads.
But that's not the question. How many people would have to complain?
It's not okay. Think of it this way. You're thinking of it as far as like, oh, a certain amount of people. It's not about the number of people. It's about how far it goes and what makes the news. If you have you can have 10 people who have a problem with this. You got 10 bloggers and they all are complaining online about this thing. Out of the thousands of people that watch, well, that wouldn't really make a dent. You wouldn't really care. But if those 10 people believed it strong enough where now they have it where it's like headlines and stuff like, oh, well, I think that such and such is being racist for this particular thing, and you're seeing this all over the internet. Doesn't matter how many people agree, you are being advertised as a racist company.
But the question is, out of 3 million people, how many people would it take for you to say, all right,
it's not, again, it's not about the number of people.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Okay,
it's not at all.
You're worried about perception, how this is going to look to
exactly.
other people. But now you're being held hostage by the whims of the vocal minority.
No, you're not.
Let's say of the 3 million people, you get 20 angry emails. And you go, oh my God, I can't believe that you let a white man lose to an Indian man. Okay, no problem. So then on the next show, Randy Orton wins it back. Okay. And then everybody else is just going to say, I can't believe you let him beat the Indian like that. Okay. He's a minority. Okay. You can't make everybody happy.
I understand
you can't change your policies or the things that you do on the whims of a vocal minority who probably don't even watch the show.
Yes, you can.
Here's a better fucking example. This is the one that'll work for you because we've been doing this.
You don't have to be so
on
loud.
The new Star Trek Discovery.
Okay.
People are in an uproar that the female captain is like she's like Korean, and the first officer is a black woman,
Okay.
and all the white people on the show are made to look like nerds and geeks,
Okay.
and they're calling it white genocide.
Okay.
It's Star Trek.
Mhm.
It's supposed to be diverse.
Mhm.
If you were getting this sort of negative flack on your show,
Okay.
would you change the female lead from a Korean woman to a white person or a black person to make these few people happy?
It's not about making the few people. If
Okay, okay, regardless,
can I answer?
would you
Can
change it?
Can I answer the question, please?
No, no. The question is, would you change it?
Can I answer the question the way I would like to answer the question?
It's a yes
It's
or
not
no.
a yes or no question.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
No, it's not. Can I explain myself, or are you
Please
not going to
try.
let me? It would depend on how much these people were making an impact. It's not, it has nothing to do with the number. It could be one fucking person. It can be a celebrity that goes in an interview and says something really crappy about my show. And that's enough for people to say, never looked at it that way. It's kind of messed up. I just never thought of that. But now that I think about it, I guess that does kind of make sense. I don't know how I feel about that. It's not about how many people are saying things, it's about how much of an impact that person's opinion makes. So, if I find that someone spreading an opinion about something is making news enough for it to get attention and for people to wait to see how I'll respond, or, whoa, is she being racist by doing this particular thing? I would have to sit down and take away my personal feelings, my emotions about the subject, and if I feel like the person's right or wrong, and think about how, in the end, this will impact my company. This decision, how is this decision going to impact my company or my business? How much money I'm making, all of those things. Because that is what a smart business person would do. You would take anything that could potentially be an issue. You have to think every decision you make should always be in the best interest of the company, even if it's bullshit and you don't agree with it.
So that I'm understanding correctly, you're not concerned about the money. You're more concerned about the perception of your product.
That's not what I'm saying at all. It's not that I don't care about the money. At the end of the day, every company wants to make money. They want to make a good amount of money, okay? But the way that you keep making good money as a business, especially something that's a TV show or something that's like in the media a lot, you have to consider how you're perceived. That is a very important thing. Either people hate you so much that you'll make good money, or people love you so much that you'll make good money.
I feel like I'm not explaining this.
You
to you
are,
very
honey.
well.
You've explained
It's
this
just
to me multiple times and
the
multiple.
idea that anybody could just, hey, I think that Star Trek is racist against white people because the Vulcans are all the same complexion is ridiculous.
Honey, let me explain something to you. You have taken an example and you have ran with, you've given me multiple examples, and now the example you give me is about Star Trek and about how someone doesn't agree with certain races that are used because it's considered racist. And I hear you, and I don't think that Star Trek should change, the way they have done things because someone thinks, oh, that might be considered racist, only because that, as a show, that's what makes the show. Different races, different traditions, and all of those things. That's what makes Star Trek what it is. And that's fine. But what I am talking about, what we were originally talking about, is the idea that, what was it? The video you showed me. It's like, I never looked at it that way, that when you watch cartoons and stuff, usually the villain is more dark skinned. So, that makes like, oh, it kind of makes it look like, dark skinned people, or, people of color, or however you want to say it, are considered evil. I never looked at it that way before. I just never did. But then you said, the words out of your mouth, you said that black people are always considered the villains.
No,
And that
I
is
said
what you said.
bad guys wear black. Is what I
That's
said.
not what you said. You said
That's exactly what I said.
okay. If that is what you said, that's fine. Look, here's the thing.
It's
Everybody is going to view things the way they're going to view things. Most of the time, you're not going to agree with it. And you are a prideful person, and that's completely fine. For instance, when we were doing videos for the other channel, you wanted to do videos that you enjoyed doing. You wanted to be popular for doing the videos. It would have been nice for you to make money from doing them, but you also wanted to do something you enjoy. And even if that meant you never making any money or getting popular from doing the videos you enjoy doing, you didn't want to, start doing the more popular videos like reaction videos and things like that that you didn't enjoy doing for the sake of making money. That is very noble and that is completely fine and respectable. But most companies, especially when they're already popular and they have to maintain a certain image, are willing to make hard decisions for the sake of keeping the company where they are or advancing the company.
but what's too much?
There's
What's
no
too
such
much?
thing as
There's
too
no
much for it. But
okay.
you no, listen to me. Wait, stop. I understand you're passionate about it and I hear where you're coming from. You are preaching to the choir. I hear you completely. And I personally, just little old me, I probably wouldn't change certain things for the sake of money or perception because frankly, I don't care and I'm going to do what I want to do. But if I were in big business, of course I'm expected to make the hard decisions to accommodate people even if I didn't like what the person had to say because that's how a company continues to make money. You are not going to make, if you, like, for instance, like The Walking Dead, if they just completely changed the script because they wanted to, and people, everybody was like, we hate this show, this is not good anymore, and it was making a big enough impact where ratings were going down and views were going down, of course they're going to look at the script and they're going to change it because we need people to watch for us to continue making money.
Okay. This is my last ditch effort for this. You ready?
Okay.
The Walking Dead averages 10 million views. This is bullshit.
Okay, I know.
So, a white person on the show uses a racial term that people don't like. And this vocal minority speak up and they go, I can't believe they let a white person call out a minority like that. The nerve of them to let them talk bad about Mexicans. We're boycotting.
Okay.
And of those 10 million people, our ratings now go from a 10.0 to a 9.8.
Okay.
Is it enough to make you change what happened on the show?
It depends on how much that
That
goes
0.2
into money.
That 0.2 counts for 200,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, again, you call the vocal minority.
Wait, stop. If I lose 200,000 people from watching my show, if I don't change this, but if I do change it, I will go back to a 10 rating and have the 200,000 people continue watching, which will be a little more money in my pocket or just more views on my show. I probably would change it because
and that's where I'm going to stop you.
Okay.
I love you.
Okay.
You're a wonderful person.
Okay.
But you cannot be held slaves to the whim of the vocal minority. So it goes back up to
no,
a 10.
No.
But now, instead of catering to the 9
this
million,
is no. Okay, hold on, stop. Babe, you're loud.
People.
Babe, you're spitting on me and you're loud. Listen to me. You are extremely passionate about this because you're a writer. And if you had a show, honey, let me finish, please. You keep cutting me off as being so rude. Please, can I finish what I'm saying? When you are upset about something, or when you're passionate about something, you get very upset, you get very loud, and you spit a lot. I want you to listen to me. I hear what you're saying. You showed me a video, and I never looked at things that way. And then you gave me an example, and for the last 25 minutes, you have been trying to get me to agree with you. I hear where you're coming from completely. And personally, there will be some decisions I would make and some decisions I wouldn't make. But I'm not in big business. I don't know exactly what decision I would make just based on how many people said it. There are a lot of things to factor in. You are a writer. You are passionate about the things that you write. You let me finish. You wouldn't want to change your script just because somebody didn't agree with it. You wouldn't want to change the way you run your show just because there were a certain amount of people who didn't agree with it. And I hear you, and that's very noble of you. But getting upset with me about it isn't going to change my opinion.
I'm just not.
You
Honey, I can't discuss this with you. I just can't
okay?
because I'm thinking long term, and I'll use smaller numbers
Mhm.
because it helps.
Okay.
I have 100 fans
Okay.
who my come to my YouTube channel every day,
Okay.
right? And of those 100 people, 10 of them say, "Well, I think you used a racial slur. That's racist. We're going to boycott."
Okay.
All right, no problem. So now we're down to 90 viewers.
Mhm.
If I go to cater for the 10 viewers that left, what you are saying is that not only am I alienating 90 other people to make these 10% happy, what happens the next
You
time?
never
So
said you were
it,
alienating the
but,
other
but that's
90
what
people.
just
No,
if the
how does
show
that happen
works, if
exactly?
it works exactly the way it
Honey,
is,
listen to me. If you have a Walking Dead shirt that has a term on it that 200,000 people find offensive, and 700,000 don't have a problem with it at all, and you take the shirt away or you change something on the shirt, it doesn't necessarily mean that the 700,000 are going to be like, I can't believe you changed that. We all love that shirt. Now we're going to boycott you. You're assuming that they're going to even be upset about it when they don't care. But if you can change something that would give you back certain customers that you did have, then I can understand why a company would make that decision.
I don't.
Okay, and
I
that's
don't.
fine. And we can agree to
We're talking
disagree.
vocal minority, and it's just people were in. The Walking Dead is good for this too
Mhm.
because they killed Glenn, and people like, "Oh, I can't believe you killed Glenn." So what do? They brought Glenn back to life,
Okay, yeah, and I hear you.
and then they killing me. See,
And
you
honey,
cannot you
listen, and
cannot
not
cave
honey,
to a
honey,
small few.
I hear you. I hear you completely. I sincerely hear you. But
I
they
apologize, honey. I don't
you
feel like I'm doing this
honey,
argument justice.
you've been arguing the same thing for 30 minutes. What you're doing is you don't feel like you're doing it justice because I don't agree with you. And that's not fair.
I feel like I know you well enough to know.
Honey, you're asking me something I've never done before. If you're talking about me personally, Asia, if I post something on Facebook and 10 people message me and say, we don't like that you posted that, I'm not going to take it down. But that's the difference between me personally, the way I operate, the way I feel, what I want to post, how I feel, how much I care about what people have to say, and a business. I'm not a businesswoman. I don't know for sure. All I'm saying is I can understand why a business would make certain decisions to accommodate certain customers.
And I don't. I think it's too much.
Okay, and that's fine. And we can agree to disagree. But don't assume that you're not explaining yourself well just because I don't agree with you.
There was a video we watched, like, it had to be 6 months ago, where the girl's talking about how every female protagonist in every video game is over sexualized, and
Mm-hmm.
Princess Peach from Mario is just a helpless damsel,
Yeah.
and it portrays women as
Yeah.
weak. And it's like, so would you go and change Mario Brothers so that it's Princess Peach saving Mario?
That's different. That's
No,
already
it's
done.
but it doesn't
That's
matter.
already
The
done.
shirt
It's
was
not. You're
already
not.
done.
Okay, no. The shirt was a piece of merchandise from a show that was coming. That was out right now. That is out. That's actively out. Actively comes out with episodes. What you're talking about is like Super Mario Brothers, something that's been out for years. There's no way you can go and take back all of the copies that were sold to change something that in the game from the 80s.
It's
If you're
still
talking about
glistening.
moving forward as a company and making a change, then that is something that every company will consider. Whether they end up going through with that change or not, I guarantee you every company will consider every option. And at the end of the day, any decision that a company makes is going to be because it was what they thought was best for business in the end, whether that was money or how long the company would last, how many customers they would have, how many people they would have to accommodate, how it looked in the media. Every single decision that any business makes is always in the best interest of the business itself.
But now we're just talking about terrorism.
That's not, how is that terrorism? Oh my gosh, honey, you are stretching so incredibly hard.
Holding a show
honey,
hostage.
Who's holding a show hostage? Who?
If we don't like this offensive racist shirt, remove this racist shirt, because if you read the 5th line in the song from the 60s that's not even referenced by this shirt, it could be misconstrued as something else. So we have a problem with it.
I hear you. I do. But I think you are taking this way out of proportion.
I think it's stupid.
Okay, and you, honey, listen. Just because you think something is stupid doesn't make you right, and it doesn't make you wrong. It is your opinion. Just like those people have opinions, you have an opinion. Just because you don't agree with them doesn't make you right.
And that's my point.
Oh, what?
What's
your point?
That's absolutely my point. Just because I don't agree with it doesn't make it right.
Okay, but do you see? Listen to me, honey, listen to me. Do you see how the last 30 minutes you've been getting so upset about this? You're doing exactly what you're claiming they're doing. Putting up such an uproar for them to not change something. You're just as bad as the person putting up an uproar for them to change it.
But here's the difference. I'm not going to the internet calling for boycotts.
But you're on the internet actively. You are actively on the internet doing the same thing that someone else is doing. You are just doing it on a different platform than someone else. While someone else may make a blog on Facebook or may put a post on Instagram, you are here on YouTube complaining about something. Just because your stance on it is different doesn't mean that you're right.
Should not affect change.
But you want it to affect change. You want people to stop doing it.
Sure. Would I absolutely like it? Sure. But I'm not going to write to the producers of the show.
Okay, but you're assuming that people are writing to the producers of the show. You are saying you're sure they are, but you aren't sure. Just because someone has a different opinion of you doesn't make them right, doesn't make them wrong. Doesn't make you right, doesn't make you wrong. You have an opinion. Someone else has an opinion. If a company makes a decision, they thought it was the best decision. Whether you agree with it or not, guess what? It's their company. And at the end of the day, if you watch The Walking Dead, or if you watch any show, or you support any company, it's because there is something that they do that you like, or something that they provide you that you are willing to pay for. The second that they are doing something you don't like, or they no longer meet your needs, you will no longer pay for their services, and you move on like most people would. And the people who are continuing to pay into that company or pay for their entertainment or whatever it is that they're selling, the company is succeeding enough to, based off the people that, are enjoying their business. And you move on. That's it. If someone's making decisions you don't like as a company or changing things, then you just move on. You don't like it anymore. That's fine. But you can't be upset with the company for the way they do business. You don't have to agree with it, but you can't be upset with them for it.
This is my last attempt, and then I will let it go. You and I are at Walmart.
Okay.
And we see a shirt in the t-shirt section that says Darky Lover.
Okay.
You have no idea what Darky is. But and for the sake of argument, we're gonna say that Darky is a breed of dog.
Okay.
But just making it up.
Okay.
But you see a shirt that says I love darkies.
Okay.
You immediately assume that they are talking about black people.
Okay.
Because you are darker complexion, you take offense.
Okay.
Do you tell the company they can't sell that shirt anymore, or do you just not buy the shirt?
I don't buy the shirt.
And that's my point. Okay, so what if 50 people came in and said, I can't believe that you have the shirt that says I like darkies. Okay. We're going to protest Walmart until they remove the shirt.
Okay.
Should Walmart remove the shirt?
I don't know. Here's my thing. and I don't think you're understanding me. I personally don't care. If I see something that's offensive or that offends me, I'm just going to move on. I'm just not going to support it. But just because I would handle a situation that way, I can't expect other people to. Just because I feel like I'm right on something doesn't mean that I can say other people should do that too. It's the same way that you always talk about you love to talk about religious people, and you don't like when religious people try to, get people to do what they're doing, or to believe what they believe, or to live their life the way that they live their life. But you have a strong opinion about something, and that's fine. But you can't be upset that other people don't share your opinion, or that other people don't do what you think they should do.
The difference is I'm not boycotting.
Okay, but listen, honey. No, stop. No, stop. Listen to me. If you don't want to boycott, then you don't boycott and you move on. And don't worry about the people that are boycotting.
But that's the problem. You get all these uppity, stick up their ass people who start complaining, and companies are caving into these demands because everybody wants to.
Can I tell you something? You're being uppity with a stick up your ass because you're upset that other people aren't doing the things that you do, or aren't responding to something the way you would respond to something. You're doing the same thing that they're doing. No. Just on it. Yes, you are. Just from a different.
Honey, I've been arguing. Good night, baby. We not gonna see eye to eye on this.
You started this. You started this, and you're upset with me because I don't agree with you.
We're no matter what we say, we're not gonna come to terms.
I don't understand. You started this whole thing 45 minutes ago. You showed me a video, and ever since you've been upset because I don't agree with you. This isn't what even my video was supposed to be about.
We live in this politically correct culture where if one person this
and I agree with you.
Islamophobia. I don't agree with your religion, so
honey,
I love you.
Don't tap me like that because you're yes you are.
To dominate your entire video,
honey.
I'm sick of fucking PC people. I'm not gonna argue with you.
At this point, I can't even talk and say anything.
There's nothing left to say. It was like we're just saying.